This film, Embrace of the Serpent, is a good example of the kind of independent film the average moviegoer tends to think of when they think of independent cinema. Black and white, full of weird and abstract cinematography, and a story that doesn't make sense under a conventional lens. So if you're expecting this to be like my usual reviews of movies that talk about whether or not it's worth your money, this is not going to be one of those videos, as the appeal of this movie is very limited. If you're still watching at this point, then you might just be a cinephile. Based on the travel diaries of two explorers, Theodore Koch Grunberg and Richard Evans Schultz, Embrace of the Serpent is a film with two stories that are connected by one central character, the Cojuano shaman Karmakate, as he guides an outsider through the Amazon in search of a rare plant. As simple as that plot may sound, this film is less about the search for a plant, and more about the pursuit of knowledge itself. Specifically, I feel it asks these questions. 1. What does it mean to possess knowledge? 2. Is it something that can be measured by the amount of physical objects? And 3, does the exchange of ideas between cultures result in the destruction of a culture and the knowledge that that culture possesses? It raises all of these questions, but answers none of them because, well, the goal of the film is to make you think. One thing I really like is that this film didn't try to paint one side as entirely good or evil. I mean, yes, we see the deeds of the imperialist rubber barons and the intrusion of Christianity into the Amazon, but at the same time, the character who represents the last of his Amazonian tribe is not exactly a saint. By the film's end, he becomes his own worst enemy due to his sheer stubbornness, showing that he's no different from the foreigners. It's kind of refreshing to see a film that shows both sides are capable of stupid and destructive things, something exemplified during the halfway point of the film. That said, the film does lose track of this exploration of knowledge as it tries to also explore a running subplot about listening to one's dreams. Now, I don't mean like ambitions or desires, I mean literal dreams. This causes the story to meander a little bit, as the dream aspect isn't even really important to the story we're being told or the themes that they were exploring. This leads to another problem with the film. It doesn't keep the two stories it's trying to tell very balanced. In fact, the way the two stories are introduced is moderately jarring to the point that I initially thought the version of the main character Kamakate that we see during the 1940s was a completely different character that was part of the story taking place in 1909. As for the technical aspects of the film, there's this weird balance between the elaborate mise-en-scène, the grit of the world, and a few moments of cheapness exemplified by the use of National Geographic stock footage. The film that we actually see, most of it, was shot in black and white, which is a lot harder to light and color correct for, and you can tell which footage was actually shot for the film, and which was the stock footage made to look like it was shot in black and white during post-production. Thankfully, it keeps those moments to a minimum, but trust me, you do notice them. Other than that, the film exemplifies the benefits of shooting on location, as you can tell that all of the forest flora, props, and sets are real, which makes the story more believable. On top of that, the film's pace allows for the scenic imagery to sink in without feeling like you're watching scenery porn. Overall, while the film has its issues, it does leave you thinking about the destructive power of knowledge and even reflects on the numerous Amazonian tribes that have been lost to history because of European encroachment. Most importantly, it tells its story in a way that doesn't feel preachy. It doesn't make one side solely evil or good, but instead, both literally and figuratively shows the gray area that results from a clash of cultures. If you're looking for more introspective films that make you think, be sure to check this film out if you can. All of that said, Embrace of the Serpent gets a 4 out of 5. So that's it for this episode of Romney's Reviews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.